Hey, what's up guys, this is Astranox and I'm back in another Epic 7 video. So I got Luna set up and ready for Wyvern 11. I actually leveled her while doing Wyvern 11, but let me just showcase her in this. There is also Angelica tanking, Taranor Guard and Kise as damage dealers. The skills on Taranor Guard and Kise are turned off. For Taranor Guard, I just want him to apply defense down as much as possible, and skill 3 doesn't work against the Wyvern. He cannot reduce his combat readiness. Kise, I just want her to... I don't want her to slow down the barrier phase. I want her to deal as much damage as possible during barrier. So just skill 1 as much as possible. Plus, she has Dust Devil artifact, so there's that. And it will only trigger if she's using skill 1, if you use your primary attack. Now, Taranor Guard, when he dual attacks, it boosts the combat readiness of the group by 25%. And he's using Unity set. Luna deals quite a bit of damage. She's not actually using my best gear. She's probably using my fourth. Actually, no, that probably my third best gear setup. Highest damage setup. It's a lifesteal set with a hit set. So yeah, but I've seen some good numbers out of her. Her skill ups are 114. I went for that skill 3 because I want her to have a 100% chance to apply defense down. And there's also the damage increase from those skill ups. So it's random. It's random how many attacks she's gonna do. Depending on how many attacks she does, it will lower her cooldown of skill 3 further. It only triggers Daydream Joker once though. There's the ultimate. And resist. She has between 40 and 50% effectiveness. I'll show my gear at the end. Angelica down, but we're in the barrier phase. That's where I do the most damage, because the Wyvern slows itself down, and since I'm using a full ice setup, the Wyvern is so slow that I just need to apply defense down and deal an insane amount of damage. I don't have attack buff in this group. Taranor Guard is the only one that gets it when he triggers a dual attack. You see that was like a lot of damage there. I'll try Luna in other group compositions with like replacing Taranor Guard, replacing Kise, but this is the video I'm making for now. Look at her damage. This is usually how it is. She's between Kise and Taranor Guard, but it really depends on how often she's gonna attack with skill 1. I had to summon her 121 times to get her. If she appeared at any time before, I did not save bookmarks for a while. I was just using bookmarks on most of the banners, and I'm free to play, so yeah. Now I'm down to 500 sky stones. It's brutal, but I mean, I got Luna, she's limited, so I'm assuming that the next limited banner is not gonna appear in like a month, but more like in at least 2 to maybe 4 months. Hopefully gives us time to save up. Now on to the boss's mechanic. The Wyvern always attacks the front hero, and it's a triple attack that he does, and every time he attacks, he removes 1 buff unless you resist it. So you cannot rely really on you can use barrier because it deals damage before dispelling, so that works. It also reduces combat readiness by 10%, so you could have your Angelica with Water's Origin if you are having some issues to sustain the damage. It's definitely going to help you out if you don't have enough speed on your Angelica to sustain her. you could be running another Soul Weaver with her to keep her alive. Yeah, there's multiple different setups. Bringing defense down debuff is huge, doubles your damage output against the target, roughly. You want a full ice team if you are really like struggling in here. You will deal 30% more damage, because if you have a non-ice hero, it takes 30% more damage, and if you fail to break the barrier, the Wyvern is going to use this skill, and it will attack everyone, remove all your buffs, and then deal a huge damage spike to your whole team. Wow, the Wyvern got destroyed. And the Wyvern gets stronger and stronger over time. So you could tank the damage for a while. You could... It's only item level 70 though. Okay, this time she did not perform as good because, I mean, Taranor Guard went crazy. That's the thing. Taranor Guard can beat the other team members if he just triggers dual attacks multiple times. But if he like did his average damage, let's say, he would be near Luna or below. I don't know, over the course of multiple battles, he could really, like, I never really averaged it. You need a really, like, big sample size. He's just really great as a 3-star hero. But the Wyvern gets 10% combat readiness if you, whenever a hero that is non-ice that goes. Every time it's the turn of a non-ice hero, the Wyvern gets 10% combat readiness, and when he or she goes in barrier phase, it slows itself down by a lot. Like, it's like 3 or 4 times slower than normal. Hence why you can go multiple times before the Wyvern goes. But if that non-ice hero goes, it's giving 10% combat readiness, and the Wyvern's like actually really slow. But that 10% now is very is huge. It's helping the Wyvern a lot. You're shortening your barrier phase duration. But really, if you have Luna, you might be watching this, you have her, or maybe you couldn't get her, you're still deciding. I went for, like, it depends what you got. Taranor Guard, pretty much everyone can get him. If you're unlucky and you don't have him, like me, after over 100 days played since global release, I still don't have a Kise. It's ridiculous. So yeah, she's I feel like since she's limited, I went for it because she's really strong in multiple areas of the game. Now, like I said, triple fireballs and removes debuff buff on the target. You know, the wording was broken before, so that was like confusing. After the frontal hero dies, the Wyvern will attack a random hero on the team. It says that Dragon's Might is activated if the bear is not broken in time. You can survive the damage from Dragon's Might, but I would recommend a full ice team, and you will need somewhere around 7,000 HP health and 700 defense. I would say that's kind of bare minimum. Because if you get hit by the thing when you're full health with those stats, what's going to happen is that you will have like 10% health left. And the Wyvern gets stronger over time, so I doubt you can survive the second time. If you fail to break the second barrier, it's going to hit for more. So I would aim for higher numbers, or if you have a knight with Aureus, he could or she could help you out to tank the damage. But the knight will take a huge spike in damage because the percentage of the damage received by your whole team is redirected onto the knight, which is gonna hurt a lot. Like, as you see here, she actually did the least amount of damage. But you know, like my Kise and Taranor Guard are doing quite a bit of damage together, and Taranor Guard is actually doing quite well. So, I mean, with the stats that Luna has, I feel like it's pretty good. It's her damage, her multipliers are amazing. And I will show you my gear right now. Now if you want to differentiate the stats of the characters that I'm using, let me just show you my skill ups first. So Kise, she's really optimized. This thing is maxed out and her skills are turned off, so she is really outputting the maximum amount of damage basically. But there's only one barrier phase, that's the thing. So yeah, most of the damage is done against the first wave and then it's the Wyvern, and most of the time it's not during barrier phase really. Like Kise is good to help you take out the barrier in time, but I feel like even if I didn't run Kise, let's say like she was replaced by Luna, well, I mean, yeah, and Luna brings defense down and she has the passive that buffs her own stats, which is really good. So skill ups, that's what you're looking for here. So Luna 114, 100% chance on this, it's really great. And finally Angelica, her skill ups. Okay, so the stats, and you can pause if I go too quick for the gear. But to be honest, like speed boots is best for damage output. Thing is, I'm running attack percentage necklace. To be optimal, it would be a crit chance or crit damage if you can manage to get enough crit chance against the Wyvern. If you're Ice and you're fighting the Wyvern, you have a 15% crit chance buff. It doesn't state anywhere, sorry, but you actually get 15% crit chance boost. So you need 85% crit chance as an Ice hero against the Wyvern. And if you can manage to wear a crit damage necklace and have enough crit chance on your gear, you can get a ton of damage output. A bit like my Sid. But of course, Sid is not gonna work too well in Wyvern 11. Now, Taranor Guard. Okay, so another thing is Daydream Joker. If I had more Daydream Jokers, I would put one on Kise. I would put, of course I have one already on Taranor Guard. I would put one on Luna, which I have one on her, but it's not as enhanced as this one. I want to bring it to a plus 30 enhancement. And let me show you the gear here. He's on Unity, and he's wearing a crit chance necklace. And he has enough crit chance to have 100% crit chance. You're getting that 15% for free because ice versus fire. Just when you have elemental advantage, you have 15% crit chance buff. Boost. It's just the way it is. His effectiveness is really high. From what I'm hearing, you need only, was it 50% or 55% effectiveness? That's the optimal amount of effectiveness you need against Wyvern 11 to land your debuffs. More than that is not going to affect anything. That's what I've been like reading on Reddit. And yeah, I don't need effectiveness on Kise because I mean I'm not using this thing to put skill on cooldown. Now Luna, she has effectiveness. She has the right amount. So that's that. And yeah, she's on lifesteal and hit. What I was aiming for in terms of stats for her was really like not have that much crit chance because she's gaining, well, let's say it's 20%, right? Plus she's ice against fire, so you add 15. That's 35% crit chance, so she only needs 65% crit chance. She is missing 14% crit chance right now with this gear because I only have +1 crit chance by this kill up. And yeah, I mean I really need to up her crit chance a bit, but I was aiming for more crit damage than anything else on her gear. Let me just like quickly, like this helm would be really good on her if I managed to get more crit chance, but it's on TG now, and it's the way it is because his crit chance is right where it's supposed to be, and this thing is godly. Like I'm getting everything I need. Like I'm getting that effectiveness, the crit damage and attack. It's great for offense. So Luna has some speed on her gear, so there's a higher uptime on the defense down debuff. This is really just to up her crit chance. It was a subpar item from the Abyss, the first set, tier 4, now item level 57. She doesn't have a crit chance necklace because it would give her too much crit chance. I could definitely go with a crit damage necklace, but I would need some crit chance on the substats, and I do not have one on a lifesteal set. This is tier 4, like really it's nothing insane, and I'm running a hit set when I should be running a critical set. I should be running, I mean, lifesteal is useless for her in Wyvern. You would have to go on her, you go triple crit sets with a crit damage necklace with speed boots is the optimal setup. But if you don't have triple crit set, it's gonna be hard. You're gonna need enough. Actually, you don't need triple crit set on her, to be honest. You could go hit double crit. That's there's some calculation on Reddit, and that's like one of the optimal setup. But Rage is the best Rage set, but yeah, good luck getting a full one that's actually good this early on, unless you're spending money in the game. And yeah, I would go speed on her with speed boots and a crit damage necklace. That's pretty much top tier, unless you have access to Rage. But yeah, I could put my gear from Sid. The problem is he has too much crit chance on his gear. Yeah, he do have a crit damage necklace and speed boots, which are, I mean, I like the substats on these. The problem is that he has too much crit chance on his substats on the rest of the gear, so it would be wasted on Luna. That's why I didn't do that. I didn't put that gear on her. And Daydream Joker is really like, it's the best artifact for Wyvern, because the Wyvern has, what was it, 134,000 health or something like that. I don't, it's around that amount, I believe. But yeah, a Daydream Joker, just put it on all your damage dealer pretty much. And Angelica, finally. Angelica, my speed is actually quite low. I just want her to have a bunch of health, because I mean, I'm wearing these boots. The effectiveness, the crit chance, the effect, even the effect resistance, like who cares about all that? It's all about that defense substats really, and the big main health stat. If you are struggling to keep your Angelica alive, mine actually dies quite often before the barrier, but I still successfully kill the Wyvern because I have so much damage output, and I can kill him during or her during the Wyvern or shortly afterward. Sometimes I get some damage dealers to die. And did I even show my gear? Just pause if I go too quick. But yeah, her healing is based on her max health. But if she's only healing herself, it's fine. You can mix health and defense on her. Like, you could balance those two stats, and it's gonna help to up her survival. That I just have her set up like this so she can heal the rest of the team more for other content. But Water's Origin is definitely a great artifact for her, but if you need more survival, even if you don't, I think it's gonna really it could lower her stat requirement. Prophetic Candlestick is just amazing because, I mean, this thing is like pretty much always ready with Prophetic Candlestick because of the triple attack from the Wyvern. That's like, she's just like bouncing between skill 2 and 3 pretty much during the battle. So that's really amazing. The healing output on skill 2 is it's like double dipping. It's double healing her for the max amount. It's great. I love it. She's getting healed with my stats for 10,000 if you saw it during the gameplay. It's really like truly amazing. But yeah, that's it for this one, guys. Luna was a great pick. I have a ton of ice heroes, to be honest. I didn't need Luna, but I had the bookmark. She's limited, and to be honest, you can get all the non-limited heroes if you're lucky, just from daily summon or just like random Covenant bookmarks or on a banner that you want to pull, because it's 0.8% and you got like a pretty good chance to pull other 5-star heroes. There's also the Mystic summon system, so you've got that as well with the rotation, so you could save them up for when it's actually a nice pool that you like some of the 4-star, or be it artifact heroes, 5-star heroes, 5-star artifact, and of course you've got these, but these are like mostly PvP toys, I would say, because when you focus on PvE in the hunts, let's say, you have to focus on a specific element to simplify, to make it easier, and so you need lower stats requirement, let's say, on your team. My CP is quite high. You could do Wyvern 11 with like 150,000 CP. I think you can even do it with like 125,000 CP, to be honest, if you just tank the damage and you just kill the Wyvern with some Daydream Jokers, maybe some poison on Alexa, and just if you're able to consistently put 3 debuffs on the Wyvern at all time, it's gonna like reduce the damage from the Wyvern by so much. And if you apply attack down debuff as well, you're probably gonna take a quarter of the damage I take, because I just face tank the whole damage. So if you manage to do all that, I mean, I was talking about a team of Alexa with Misty Chain. Just these two together is just like next level strong, and you could just heal with Ether, and maybe have Angelica in the front line, and you could just tank the damage from the what's called the barrier. When you fail to break the barrier, you could have Crozet tank or Basque tank, attack down debuff, and Crozet is just truly amazing for tanking with low stats requirement. Like, even if you fail your run, you don't lose energy, so it's all good. Crozet tank, Ether heals, and then you got Alexa and Misty Chain applying debuffs, and just a really good team. You got so many debuffs, double poison, you got attack down, you got unhealable, and Alexa attacks twice when she crits, so she's gonna proc Daydream Joker twice, which is insane. And you could even have enough damage to break the barrier with all that. So yeah, I mean, I would have to test it, but I like how many heroes should I build? I wish I could build every hero. But yeah, so far I'm still free to play. I have not switched to spending money in the game. My sky stones are brutally low, but I'll try to manage. Anyways, guys, that's it for this one. Oh yeah, and like, you don't need crows, like a night tanking. You could go with a double soul weaver setup, like Angelica, if you're lucky to have her in the front line. Have either he can definitely help her stay alive for a long time, and Alexa, Misty Chain in the back line, applying debuffs, doing some damage, and Misty Chain actually heal with skill 1 and skill 3, so you could even do it with Angelica tanking and just Misty Chain as a backup healer. So yeah, you could have the artifact that applies a Zero Ren, applies a debuff on Misty Chain, so increase your chance of landing debuffs. And having 3 debuff, like I said, plus attack down debuff is just insanely powerful for Wyvern 11. But my stats with what I have, I just face tank and just like murder Wyvern. But if you're starting out, that's the team you should be working on, what I've been talking about. Triple damage, triple debuffs with attack down debuff, if you can manage. Misty Chain, just top tier hero, only 3-star, just greatness. So yeah, guys, that's it for this one. Thanks for watching. I'm Astranox. Like, comment, and subscribe for more. Press the bell icon if you'd like to be notified whenever I release a new video. And good luck pulling Luna if you have her. Grats. Yeah, I mean, I'll make more team compositions. I want to try her out in raid as well, but I'm not gonna have time for this raid run. I'll do one tomorrow probably. But yeah, check out my other videos. They should be popping up on the screen, and I'm out for now. Peace.